Hello, welcome to the morning edition of MBC News, and you are with me, Abale. Coming up this morning. The Roads Authority guarantees that the recent heavy rains in Kotakota will not affect the ongoing rehabilitation of the M5 road. Government to carry out a land inspection exercise to map and validate land ownership across the country. And economists express optimism on the stability of prices of food items such as maize in the ongoing lean season. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. The Roads Authority says damage to roads and bridges caused by the recent heavy rains in Kotakota will not affect the timeline or resource allocation for the ongoing rehabilitation of the M5 road. Director of Major Projects at the Roads Authority, Engineer Joe Longwe, made the remarks when the Minister of Transport and Public Works, Japi Muhango, inspected rehabilitation works on damaged roads and bridges in the district. More in this report by Lonjeson Sodoga.
The M5 road is a crucial route connecting several lakeshore districts in the southern, central and northern regions of Malawi. The road has been in bad shape, leading to recent rehabilitation efforts and ongoing repair works to improve drainage and bridge resilience. Despite these efforts, the road was recently affected by floods, prompting the Roads Authority to carry out renovation works and establish temporary diversions to restore traffic flow. When Transport and Public Works Minister Jap Muhango visited the M5 road, he found most of the damaged roads and bridges repaired and people are passing through, while work on the M18 bridge is still underway. Speaking after inspection, Muhango said he is satisfied with the way contractors are carrying out restoration works. According to Muhango, by the end of this week, temporary rehabilitation works on M18 road, which connects Kasungu, Nchisi and Kotakota districts, are expected to be complete.
Now that the water levels have come down, there is now access. That's why you can see that the contractors are now working. Otherwise, the way it was a week or so ago, it was impossible because the water levels were very high, so no one would have been working on these sites. But now that the water levels have gone down, the contractors are able to work. That's why we've been able to produce so much work in the shortest possible time. And we are hopeful that in the next 4 or 5 days, this section should also be open to traffic. I'm glad that the road is now open, not this section rather, but the M5 is now open to traffic. Vehicles are now able to pass.
Director of Major Projects at Roads Authority, Engineer Joe Longwe, has assured Malawians that the original works to rehabilitate the M5 road have not been affected and the road is expected to be completed within the set time frame.
In terms of time, we are not much affected because according to contractors' program on the M5, there was a window because this is rainy season and these floods hit us during rainy season. So there was a window that contractor was not very active during this period. He was sitting on some minor works. So we cannot say that we are heavily affected by these damages. In terms of resources, yes, government has mobilized resources that we should be able to take care of these damages that have hit us.
Weeks ago, heavy rains damaged and washed away roads, houses, crops and bridges in Kotakota district and other parts of the country. Lonjeson Sodoka, MBC News, Kotakota.
The Ministry of Finance is set to engage youths from across the country in the ongoing budget consultations aimed at incorporating young people's views into the national budget. Director of Programs at the National Youth Council of Malawi, Williot Lumbe, has welcomed the initiative, describing it as a clear demonstration of the government's commitment to inclusive development. According to Lumbe, the meeting is expected to take place in Lilongwe. Details with Emmanuel Chukonso.
As government intensifies consultations ahead of the next national budget, the Ministry of Finance is expected to engage youths from across Malawi at the Bingu International Convention Center BICC in Lilongwe on Monday next week. According to the National Youth Council of Malawi, NICOM, the meeting is expected to provide a platform for young people to present their challenges, propose solutions and make recommendations on how youths can actively contribute to the country's economic growth. Director of Programs at NICOM, Wirio Tilumbe, has welcomed the initiative, describing it as a sign of government's commitment to inclusive development.
It speaks volumes of the government's commitment towards youth development. You might recall that the President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, when he was presiding over the oath of office of cabinet ministers, he said that he wants young people to be everywhere, to be part of the economy, and that government should provide necessary tools to enable young people.
Lumbe has also assured young people of the continuation of Youth Innovation Fund, saying the initiative is already yielding positive results, with over 250 youths accessing the 2 billion kwacha fund in the first phase. He further hailed President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika for prioritizing youth empowerment, including the decision to allocate 100 million Malawi kwacha per constituency towards youth-led development initiatives.
We know that the government has already committed to provide 100 million per constituency for all the 229 constituencies, which translates to 22.9 billion. And we want you to be active, to be proactive enough, and when another opportunity comes, probably in April or May, please do an application. Let us see what you're doing and allow us to support your innovation, your enterprise and business.
The youth drawn from all regions of the country are expected to use the meeting to engage directly with the Minister of Finance as government finalizes preparations for the upcoming national budget. Emmanuel Chikonso, NBC News, Lilongwe.
The Minister of Finance, Joseph Mwanamveka, is meeting with stakeholders in the southern region this morning in Blantyre as part of the ongoing pre-budget consultation meetings that the ministry is undertaking. Last week, the Ministry of Finance conducted similar sessions in Lilongwe last week and last Monday in Mzuzu. Through the meetings, the ministry is collecting input from stakeholders towards the formulation of the 2026-2027 national budget. The Ministry of Lands is set to commence a land audit exercise aimed at mapping and validating land ownership across the country. Minister of Lands, Chimwemwe Chipongo, announced this during a press briefing held in Lilongwe under the theme, Respecting the Rule of Law to Stop Corruption. Chipongo has also warned individuals that have illegally acquired land to rescind their actions and surrender the land within 14 days. Details in this report by Trust Officer.
The plan to commence land audit is part of a broader effort by government to ensure that no land is idle and that land developers are following the designated development plans of the city to ensure there is law and order in the sector. Minister of Lands, Chimwemwe Chipungu, highlights that the initiative will also help to flush out fake title deeds and help root out corrupt practices.
We were so much concerned as a ministry because everybody out there has been labeling us as the most corrupt ministry in terms of land management. So we wanted to assure Malawians that it's their right to acquire land, but they should acquire the land in a more procedural manner.
And Minister of Homeland Security, Peter Mukito, has also ordered the Malawi Police Service to arrest anyone involved in land grabbing, regardless of their political affiliation.
As the Minister of Homeland Security and Secretary General of the Democratic Progressive Party, with authority from the President, His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, I order the Malawi Police Service and all law enforcement agencies to act without delay, arrest anyone found involved in land grabbing.
Among others, government plans to improve and promote equitable access to land, as well as a secure land tenure, which is a catalyst for both foreign and local investment. Trust Office, NBC News, Lilongwe.
The Department of Fisheries in Mangochi has urged the fishing community to strictly adhere to fishing rules and regulations as the district continues to observe closed fishing season for commercial fishermen operating trawlers. Principal Fisheries Officer for the district, William Chira, made the appeal in an interview with Embassy as the fishing closed season is set to end next month. According to Chira, the period is crucial as it helps promote sustainability and allow fish to breed. Sotinda Ndazi has compiled this report, being read by Owen Mavula.
Every year, the Department of Fisheries in Malawi declares a fishing closing season. According to the department, the season is crucial for the fish population and the long-term viability of the fishing industry as it gives room for the fish to breed. During the closing season, the fisheries implements various measures to ensure compliance with regulations aimed to control the use of illegal fishing gear among the fishing community. As the period continues, authorities at Mangochi District Fisheries Office have made a special appeal to the fishing community to strictly observe the season, warning that those found contravening the regulations will face the law. William Zichira is Principal Fisheries Officer for Mangochi.
What we saw was that there was some kind of compliance during the close season, though there were like some pockets of non-compliance by some other fishermen. And those fishermen who were caught on the wrong side of the law, who were not complying to these regulations or the closed season, their fishing gears were like confiscated, and they are waiting to be prosecuted by competent court of laws like here in Mangochi. But all in all, we really appreciate the support that we received from all stakeholders.
Adding weight to the cause is senior lecturer for the Department of Aquaculture and Fisheries Science at Lirongwe University of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Jeremiah Kangombe. Kangombe is describing the fish breeding season as a crucial period, which, if disturbed, can significantly impact fish population, leading to reduced breeding success and long-term survival.
I implore the Department of Fisheries to make sure that enforcement is done so that we can conserve our fisheries and fish products from our lakes.
A 2020 Fishery and Aquaculture report by Food and Agriculture Organization indicates that Malawi annual capture production for fish in Lake Malawi was about 199,500 tons in 2017, dominated by Usipa and Jambo.
You're watching MBC News and you are with me, Abale Chingambe. A reminder of our top stories. The Roads Authority guarantees that the recent heavy rains in Kotakota will not affect the ongoing rehabilitation of the M5 road. Government to carry out a land inspection exercise to map and validate land ownership across the country. And economists express optimism on the stability of prices of food items such as maize in the ongoing lean season. Welcome back. Economists are optimistic that prices of food items such as maize will remain affordable in the ongoing lean season. Economists Chris Mbugwa and Edward Chilima attributed this to government's move of importing maize from Zambia, besides some local traders also releasing their farm produce to the market, among others. James Kachepa reports.
In the recent past years, the lean season that covers months from October to March has been known with high prices of food items, especially maize. Having analyzed market price trends of food items in recent months, economist Edward Chilima, who is also former Economics Association of Malawi president, says the atmosphere remains certain that prices of food items will continue to go down as compared to the past years.
The expectation is that this is going to continue because just a few months from now, we're going to be harvesting. So there isn't much pressure being created. So we should expect that the food inflation should continue to come down. Magnitude of the decline depends on how low or how stable the maize prices will be. But generally, the trend should be downward.
Also Also weighing in views is Chris Mbugwa. He describes the continued food price improvements as a result of government's commitment to provide for Malawian, adding that the importation of maize has made the tremendous boost to the availability of the staple food.
Owing to the government intervention on the market by bringing maize from Zambia, but also those that were holding maize, they have started to release the maize during this period. Owing to the government intervention that maize will be available on the market, we are likely to see moderate food inflation during these months of January to March, which ironically is not what we have experienced in the past. In the past, we expected to have a high food inflation during this period.
Between January and February last year, the 50 kg bag of maize was sold at nearly 100,000 kwacha. But now, according to the International Food Policy Research Institute, the same 50 kg bag of maize is going nearly at 50,000 kwacha in most of the areas across the country. James Kachepa, MPC News, Blantyre.
Government, through its development partners, the World Food Programme WFP and Malawi Network of Older Persons Organization, MANEPO, has launched a 3-month-long maize distribution drive in Blantyre. Speaking during the launch of the initiative in the area of Traditional Authority Chigaru, Executive Director for MANEPO, Andrew Kavala, said the exercise intends to reach out to about 35,000 hunger-stricken households. We have a report by Geoffrey Chinawa.
The Malawi Network of Older Persons Organization MANEPO with the World Food Programme WFP have launched maize distribution exercise in Blantyre. This is to cushion the suffering of hunger-stricken households in the area. Speaking during the official launch of the initiative, Executive Director for MANEPO Andrew Kavala said the intervention will be 3 months long.
Quite very exciting. You can see the faces here that people are very excited. We have continued as we have done before, encouraging them to make use of the maize which they are getting today. Quite very often you find people getting a bag today, before they even get home, half of it is already sold. So we are encouraging them to utilize the maize which they have received. And let me also mention that we will be here till March, till people are able to start using their maize from the field. But needless to say, this is quite very encouraging, and we applaud government for being very handy to ensure that the households which are food insecure are supported.
80-year-old Alice Thomas is among the beneficiaries. She has since commended government for coming to their rescue. Meanwhile, District Disaster Risk Management Officer for Blantyre, Priscilla Kamula, has called on the beneficiaries to use the help for the intended purposes.
The situation is serious in a state that we had a lot of households that were using or relying on mangoes, fresh mangoes. We would boil them and eat them. And as you know that the mango season has gone, now it's going to an end. We had some reports, even some reports of households not having food to sustain them even for a week. So that's when we saw the seriousness of the food insecurity situation in Blantyre.
Beneficiary households will receive 50 kilograms of maize each from this month of January until March this year. Late last year, the country's leader, President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, declared a state of disaster in the country following the food shortage situation. Jeffrey Shinawa, MBC News, Blantyre.
Mzuzu City Council says it has made significant strides in its efforts to deal with illegal vending in the city to ensure that vendors ply their businesses in designated places. Mayor for the city, Jembekezo Moses, says most vendors are complying and others are voluntarily relocating from the streets. On poor drainage and road network, Moses says the council has started sealing some potholes, realizing that good roads facilitate business activities.
Right now, at least we have reached 80%. We are trying to move them, and they are moving out. As you can see Sanity at least, because we agreed that they were going to start their businesses from 4 o'clock till whatever time they can be comfortable with. So yeah, we are trying our best. We are trying our best, and we are going to put extra gear. Of course, I'm going around the town to see the road network, because road network is our priority. So I was trying to see how bad or good our roads. So we are trying to fix where we have problems. At the Harley filling station, you see there is a bad shape of road. So we are trying to fix that one. And also I was inside Mapale area. I was trying to fix also the other roads inside there.
And now in sports, the Malawi National Council of Sports has sealed a 10 million kwacha partnership with Premier Bet ahead of the Malawi Sport Awards, which will be held in Salima next month on the 27th. Unveiling the partnership in Blantyre, Premier Bet Community Manager Hamza Ngaye said the move underscores their commitment to developing sports in the country.
We are very proud to be the first and biggest betting platform in Malawi. That's why we want to give back to the community that we are serving. Secondly, we are committed to develop sports in Malawi. That's what we're also looking at, and I've been saying this, that we want to leave a margin as far as sports development is concerned. So that's the second thing. The third thing is because we trust National Council of Sports. Last year when we sponsored, they gave us the results that we anticipated, and this year we couldn't resist but come back to sponsor the event.
Reacting to the gesture, Sports Council Director of Marketing, Planning and Infrastructure Development, Limbani Matola, hailed the betting firm for coming back after doing the same last year.
We are glad and thrilled because this time around, Premier Bet has increased the sponsorship from 7.5 million last year to 10 million. It displays confidence. It's a statement of confidence and satisfaction in the way we're conducting Malawi Sport Awards as Malawi National Council of Sports. So we just want to, at this moment, encourage sports associations and journalists to submit their nominations, which are closing on 23rd of January, so that we allow a lot of athletes and officials to be nominated and take part in this prestigious event.
And that's it from our newsroom this morning. A recap of our top stories before we leave. The Roads Authority guarantees that the recent heavy rains in Kotakota will not affect the ongoing rehabilitation of the M5 road. Government to carry out a land inspection exercise to map and validate land ownership across the country. And economists express optimism on the stability of prices of food items such as maize in the ongoing lean season. Keep up to date with our news coverage on our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You've been with me, Abale. Thanks for watching and good morning.